Hello, welcome to another cue breakdown. We are looking at an upbeat, positive, sort of hip-hop type cue. And what I'll do is I'll play it through for you now and flick through the different sections as they come up. Then I'll break down how I've put it together. Let's have a listen. Okay, there we go. So, what makes up this track? Shall we go from top to bottom? The top track is just a piano where I was coming up with the main chords, and it was just C minor, A flat, and E flat, and then B flat over a D in the bass. In the middle section, it actually does a sort of little walk up going up C minor, so up to the G minor and then A flat. And the second time goes to that B diminished at the end of the B section, which is quite distinctive. But quite nice, I think. So we have an A section, a B section, and then a return to the A section, but with more things going on, like these echoes and raindrops. Throughout the main riff, it's these strings that are driving what is going on. So let's have a listen to those first. We'll come back to the piano. So here, let's make this a bit bigger. And notice they are off the beat. If I put the metronome on, because you will hear, if I put in the low strings, and then later on when they combine, you've got this effect. So they're duplicating each other there, and then the high strings actually get an extra octave in the second half. And because the Air Studios reverb that I've put on here was making it quite spaced out, what you'll notice is I've actually dragged all these high string notes slightly back so that the actual transition of the note occurs on the beat. So that's those. Then we've got, let's go back to the piano actually. So this again is doing an offbeat. With a stereo delay, and the channel EQ has actually only allowed those mids through to give it that sort of artificial electronic-y sound. Then we've got, we're into the synths now. So throughout it, we've got mosaic bass, just following the bass notes of those original chords, and then doing the same there. You get the idea. The other thing to notice actually is it drops out when the A section comes back in. Just because I thought it worked quite well coming back in with the piano, so they both come in at the same time. Because when you drop something out, obviously putting it back in has more of an impact. So instead of getting used to this synth bass, what we do is drop it out, bring everything else back, and the ear sort of says, well, what's missing now? And then you put it back and make everybody happy. Then more synths. So there's two sequences here. So this is the plucky guitar, pretty much the same, and again they come in at the second half of the second A section. And then these echoes, they start off slightly before that second A section comes in, so they're the thing that tie the two together. If we just play from here, without it, it was just obviously dead space. Then we've got Arcus, and these are doing those raindrop effects. Similar pattern here, but only 3 notes per section, and then comes back to more of a melody towards the end. Again, you know, building interest as we go. Now we're into effects and percussion. So there's this reverse from Gravity 2. That's quite nice. Then we've got some whooshes from Damage. So a couple of different ones. And then onto the drums, what I've got is Logic Drummer up here, modern hip hop. You know, if you're aiming for hip hop and there's a hip hop drummer available, probably a good bet to give them a go. And what you'll notice here is something I was going to show you anyway, but I have automated the high cuts in quite a lot of these tracks. So high cut filters there and on the high strings, and moving in and out on the bass. Actually, with this bass, raising it up to 3,000 or 7,000, it pretty much makes no difference because it's not actually producing any sound there. So there is automation to bring in the drums, as you just heard there. And also later on, then it opens up as the cymbals hit, drops back down and then comes back in again. So that's a good thing to play with sort of electronic music, and hip hop is moving those high cut filters. And then the last section here, these are just Apple loops, but what I did was picked, if we zoom in a little bit, I picked these hip hop ones because there was a big selection of them. So there's 16 different hip hop steady beats. So that was number 5, then it goes to 3, and it goes back to 5, and so on. And then later on, I think we'll probably be able to find, yeah, a 12, and I've used that, mixing them up so that it's not a constant sound, but on their own, that's what's contributing the kick and those claps. Okay, so there's the tracks. In terms of effects, we said the piano's got this stereo delay on it, and the EQ. Air Studio's reverb on the high strings, nothing on the low strings, that didn't seem to need it. The bass has had the top, well, automated, so as it moves through, you can see, let's expand that, but as I move, you can see the automation in the filter there. Stereo delay on the plucks, so it's not just the original sound. That's always a good thing to do, is mess about with things. Echoes have got stereo delay on. The raindrops didn't need it. Neither did the reverses or whooshes. These settings are just the default ones that load up with Drummer, and I quite like them. And then obviously the audio track is just an audio track. There you go. One upbeat hip hop cue. I'll play it again as an outro. Don't forget, like and subscribe is always appreciated. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.